Hey guys, it's V2 Vengeance, and today we're looking at the British tier rate tank destroyer, the AT-15. So, what's good about this tank? Well, the combination of armor and gun. Well, the armor is not that good. It is pretty good, but it does have some weak points. But the main feature of this tank is the gun. So if you're looking at the stats, first of all, 1450 health points, which is the most of all the tier rated tank destroyers. Next is the Ferdinand with 1200. So most of the tier 8 tank destroyers don't have that much health. However, the AT-15 has almost as much as a fully upgraded IS-3. So that there is that going for it. It is very heavy, 60 tons. And it has a pretty good engine of 650 brake horsepower, but on a tank that heavy it means that it will only reach 20 kilometers per hour with a 20 degrees traverse speed. The traverse speed is, for that slow heavy tank destroyer, it's okay, but the top speed is pretty bad. The armor, compared to its predecessor, it is better a little. From the front, the AT-7 had 203 millimeters. This tank has 228, as much as the Tortoise, if I'm not mistaken. 152 millimeters at the side and 101 at the rear. Seems like Pagani doesn't know I'm doing a tank review. So overall, the armor is very good, and keeping in mind that tanks of the same tier like the IS-3, let's see how much penetration does the IS-3 gun get. 225. So immediately it has more armor at the front than the penetration of the IS-3. Now it has some weak points here and here, and this upper plate is a little bit less armored, but it's well angled, so it isn't really a weak spot. And the actual weak spots where you want to shoot this tank are this commander's hatch here, this little bit here of, I don't know how to call it, and the gun mantle, because right here there is no armor after this gun mantle. It's like nothing. So that gun mantle, if you're going to shoot it, you will penetrate even with tier 7 tanks. And here's the problem, I mean, you can penetrate it with tier 7 tanks, but except for those weak spots, the armor can't be penetrated by tier 8 guns. In fact, there are tier 9 guns on tier 8 heavy tanks. So if you know how to use the ground, how to not expose your weak points, this tank is really strong. So moving on, we talked about mobility, armor and health points, and now let's get to the interesting point, which is the gun, the 30 pounder, and there is no competition between the other guns for the top gun on this tank. So this is an 83mm caliber, which has a very good rate of fire of 12, and combine that with a large tank caliber gun rammer, you will reach about 3000 damage per minute on a tier 8 tank, which is huge. Most of the tier 10 tanks don't have that much damage per minute. So it has 226mm of penetration, and this is the only thing that it lacks compared to the other tier 8 tank destroyers. For example, the Ferdinand has 246, the ISU 152 has 286, that is huge. And so this tank has about as much penetration as a same tier heavy tank, which is alright, and consider the fact that you don't really play this tank as a tank destroyer, you play it more like a frontliner. That penetration is enough. Average damage 230, and even though it is pretty low, combined with that huge rate of fire, I mean, just let me make a quit, you get about 25-2600 damage per minute. So that's pretty good. The accuracy is amazing, 1.3, it's the best in the game. It has the same accuracy as the E50M or the Leopard. Only the Waffenträger of E100 has better accuracy, and it has 1.7 seconds aiming time. So the gun is really good. The gun platform is really well armored with some hit points and slow, which means that this tank can snipe with this gun. You can totally snipe with that accuracy, but when you're top tier, the best thing you can possibly think of is push. Just push the front line, use that huge damage per minute, use the fact that a lot of players don't really aim. In fact, let's say half of the tier 8 players don't aim for weak points, and or at least they try, but if you wiggle the tank, or a lot of the people don't even shoot the gunmetal, everyone is aiming for this commander's hatch here, and because of that, if you wiggle the tank, they will sometimes miss, and every time they miss, you fire it in them about 2-3 times, which means 400-600 damage. So this is for every time they miss, because even if they hit, if you're fighting head on with an IS-3, you're going to kill him long before he is able to kill you. So keeping that in mind, let's jump to the crew skills. I just got repairs for all the people, because you need repairs because you're going to get wrecked a lot. This is what frontline tanks need. They need repairs, maybe a brothers in arms, and of course 6th sense, because every tank needs 6th sense. No matter light tank, tank destroyer, heavy tank, 6th sense is always useful. Equipment, I was a cheap bastard and I only got myself a camouflage net, but I really do suggest, if you have the cash, buy not this thing. You really don't need this with a 1.6 second aiming time. Buy this for aiming time and improved ventilation. And if you don't want to use binoculars, you can use toolbox, heavy spoiler, or binocular telescope. And ammo rack, only when you're, sometimes you get, I never got ammo rack, I only got my ammo rack damaged by tanks shooting at the side, but to hit the ammo rack I think you have to shoot somewhere around here, so most of the time people won't be shooting there. Very rarely you will get in a situation where you will be shot in the flanks, because after all this tank has 152mm of armor at the side, which is as much as a King Tiger at the front. And also, something I need to highlight about this tank is the very good gun depression and the gun arc. So the gun arc is about like this to this, which is very good. So imagine you can keep the tank angle like this. So 152mm, no chance of penetrating, and 228. Forget it. Shoot the commander's cupola or the gun. Even if the tank is angled like this, you can still shoot. Try to aim for this little hole and almost guaranteed penetration if you hit. So let's jump into some gameplay. First, I will be showing my gameplay, where you know, my gameplay, and after that I could show you my Redley Walters game, but there is a much more interesting game compared to my Redley Walters. It makes my Redley Walters medal look like, I don't know, like a 2-kill battle really. So let's see, what does the future prepare us?
Time to roll out.
So first gameplay, and as usual I begin my gameplays with so. If you are going to watch any other of my videos or tank reviews, every single gameplay that I start begins with so. I don't know, I'll try to change it. Okay, we are on Ruinberg, and somehow my frame rate dropped. Well, let's see if it improves. If it doesn't, I will be forced to reduce the quality of the video. But I'm on Ruinberg, so I thought one of Sergio wanted to wreck the truck, so I helped him out, because that position is really good for a T-32. It only shows your turret, and the only thing blocking his shots was that truck there. So I destroyed it for him, and I kept moving, and I noticed there is a KV-5 on my right, and I really want to put shots on that guy, and a wild KV-3 appears on my front. So, and a nice one with him. So you could see I just angled a bit, which was more than enough to bounce those two shells. I put a couple of shots into those guys, and right now I'm just pumping shot after shot after shot into this KV-5. And what you're going to see me do right now is exactly what the AT-15 is perfect at. So there are a couple of heavy tanks on my back, and usually what this fight would go on, because there are also some tanks behind them, some people would just side scrape and trade shots. Because I'm in AT-15, I can just push the course of the battle. So I thought that was the front of the KV-3, because I know if he's side scraping I can penetrate him. And also another thing you can see, I can use the corner to my advantage. Well, I can't really zoom in out enough, but the thing is I'm using the corner to cover my commander's cupola. So the only weak point they can shoot at is the gun, but as you're going to see, very rarely there are people that are shooting your gun. So I want to move close enough where I can shoot this kid with frontal armor. So there I go. He put one shot into me. Where did he penetrate? Yes, in this upper armor thingy. I get shot in the side by the IS-3, finish him off, and as you can see right there, the pushing power of this tank. Like, if you have support, you will just rush forward, the enemies concentrate your fire on you, they can barely penetrate you, at this level I mean, not tier 9 or 10 games, but at this level, they can hardly penetrate you, and using the DPM and realize that are supporting you, you can totally smash an entire flank. So right now this game isn't really about the kills, but it's about the damage. So very lucky shot here on the T-28, that is a T-28. Somehow I penetrated his frontal armor and I set him on fire, which is pretty nice. He really wanted to show me his side, and the IS finishes him off. So I'll put it on 4 times the speed, because really nothing is going to happen. I will just go to the enemy base, and I think I will put one more damaging hit. That is all I'm going to do on this remaining game. So the this IS kindly moves so I can shoot. I think I don't know, I don't think he did it on purpose, but still. So I put one shot into this guy, one shot misses, and I keep firing a couple of blinds. That one certainly hit. And let's see, how much health does that guy have? Where is he? Yes. One of the blind shots penetrated. So there you go, 100% base captured, last enemy destroyed. Oh, you want more action? Well, let's have more action.
Let's get this show on the road.
So this time, it's still me playing, and we are on Hidden Village. And this is going to be another perfect example of how the AT-15 can just push the crap out of anybody as long as it is top tier. So I'll put it on double speed because this tank is very slow. So I keep on advancing, and I just forgot, did I start with this battle with a slow again? I have to check what in the editing while I'm editing, but this is not important. So yeah, so again I noticed that I barely have a shot at anybody, so I just keep pushing forward. And right now my plan is I want to reach those guys and I want to rush them. I'll just jump on them and let's say put 4 times speed so you guys don't get bored. So this is when the action starts. What is it? The KV-1S with the back. IS, shoot on the move. T-29 and Sergio combine their fire. I finish him off. Well, my frame rate dropped again. What the hell? Tiger showing his back. Put another shot into him. Again, you can see the amazing damage per minute this tank has. And suddenly, we've just cleaned up all this area, all this hill right here. And instead of just going for the enemy base, I wanted to dish some more damage from this hill right here. And I noticed me and Sergio are close for a brothers in arms. You can see that I am asking him their BIA. That's the brothers in arms. I put one shot into the right metal. As you can see, I keep moving so he can't shoot my weak points, because at this angle I doubt he can penetrate my armor. Put one shot into the M12 and I finish him off. So I've been shot a couple of times. I did my 3rd kill. Now Sergio has to do his 3rd kill, so he can secure both brothers in arms. I actually take my 4th kill. I move exactly as I'm about to shoot, so I missed this right metal. Put one shot into him. He's only a little from this tank. I put one blind shot. I see that there is no ground exploding. I put a 2nd shell in and he's dead. So there's a nice blind kill. I'm already on 5 kills. Sergio hasn't managed to make his 3rd one yet. Put a shot into the Yak Panther. Right now he's a 1-shot kill. He disappears, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to move as he keeps shooting me, and he's dead. Sergio also manages to make his 3rd kill. So I've taken a couple of shots. And by the way, the other game that I showed you was 3,800 damage and a nice steel wall with 16 hits received. This game unfortunately wasn't a steel wall because I only received 10 hits instead of 11, but it was a Top Gun. So right now we thought we could go for a Redley wall, not a Redley, a crucial contribution. We needed 3 more kills, but the chances were really low because, as you can see, if anyone from our team killed a tank, that in fact if one of us didn't kill it, we had to kill all the remaining tanks, let's put it that way. So there's the last tank, and I'm pretty sure he's going to die before I'm going to lay a shot on him. Maybe Sergio can finish him off. Come on, Sergio. Make us proud. Proud? What the hell? Make me proud, Sergio. Kill him. Sergio, come on, come on. Sergio stops, he's aiming. Yeah, that's my Sergio. So nice game right there. 10 kills between the platoon. I did 6 kills, 3,000 damage, 10 hits received. I did more damage on the other replay, but this one was a Top Gun, so yay! Another Top Gun in my AT-15. And having said that, let's show the special replay.
Let's get this show on the road.
Last game is played by Zarek 112 112. Well, you guys got the idea. He is of course in the tank of this video is addressed to the AT-15. and he's on Mountain Pass. And I'll speed up the replay a little bit because it's really boring at the beginning. But first, let's take a selfie. No. But first, let me find the perfect position for my AT-15 to defend the bridge. As you can see, the base is hiding. He's also looking. He wants to check if his commander's cupola is protected, and also to see how his team is deploying. The northern flank, there aren't many people on that flank. The southern flank, there is a pretty large amount of tanks. Middle is pretty well defended, and he's alone to hold this bridge. He's in the perfect position. As you can see, this grass here can be seen through. It doesn't count as any sort of camouflage, but let's put it on the 4 times the speed, because believe me, it will take a while for the enemies to make a move. You can see the grass wiggling. Okay, first target KV-1S. First shot bounces. I don't have any idea how it bounced. Second shot tracks him. KV-1S uses a repair kit, but very smart move from him. He uses a repair kit to get into the way of an AT-15, so that Zarek is able to leave him to being a potential one-shot to almost anybody. So very smart move there from the KV-1S. So Zarek is moving on. He believes that there is probably one KV-1S and one tank at the most, so there is an E-25. He stops, very low roll there, considering the average range of this gun is 230, and finishes off the KV-1S. E-25 here, shooting, he tracks the E-25, keeps going. He wants to push from the bridge. E-25 wants to move, he tracks him, and I think right here, instead of killing the T-25, he didn't realize he tracked him. He was on the adrenaline rush, but then he turns around, he sees that E-25 is still alive and finishes him off. And right now you can see the amazing gun depression of this tank. No problem shooting over this bridge, in fact under this bridge. So already 3 enemy tanks destroyed from full health. Let's see, what else we have here? Rheinmetall puts a pretty meaty shot into Zarek. So he decides to back off, and he sees that the southern flank has totally collapsed. So he won this bridge alone. He defended the northern flank a little. So let's see what needs to be done. And of course he decides to move back and defend the base. And right now this is where the party is starting, and you're going to see right now a flawless shooting. I mean, this game until now was pretty good. He moved, he wiggled, he didn't let his enemies penetrate him. Only the Rheinmetall managed to penetrate him, but that is because the Rheinmetall has a very good gun. So this is when the shooting gallery begins. And as I said before, perfect gameplay by Zarek. This entire game flawless. So he puts one shot into the lava and he immediately spots this KV-1S that is low health. He finishes him off. Sees another KV-1S in the back, also kills him because he wants to get rid of the low health tanks first. And suddenly he just got himself a Top Gun. So Love is aiming at him, bounces. He waits for the Love to turn, because if he had shot his side at that angle, it wouldn't have penetrated. He knows where to shoot. He aims for the Love's cupola. Shot goes right on target. It was a little bit lucky, to be honest, but still. he just finished off 4 tanks, and the last one is in progress. So the IS tracks him, but the IS doesn't know that the AT-15 has an amazing rate of fire. T-29 is late for the party. Zarek already got his gold medal, and he finishes him off. Allied IS-3 says wow in chat. He's amazed by the power of the AT-15 combined with the power of Zarek. So we can see there that there is an ISU, and sooner or later you're going to hear that ISU's gun firing. However, that KV-4 didn't use the opportunity when the ISU fired. I initially thought that ISU is going to die immediately after firing his gun, but that KV-4 wasn't that quick. So the ISU managed to load another shell and do some damage that I think was critical. That damage right there, I think it was critical for Zarek to win this game. So the KV-4 right now is pushing on the ISU and is going to kill him. Let's see. Yep, he's dead. Unfortunately, he can't do a Kolobanov's medal because there are only 4 enemy tanks remaining. Only 4, like a 1v4 isn't easy enough. But still, and also he's not going in for a Rise and Ice medal either, because the maximum number of kills he can do right now is 13, not 14. So there is a KV-4 going. That KV-4 has half of his health, while Zarek only has a third. And the KV-4, I think this guy would go for a ram, but however, he wanted to use his momentum to go around, but he forgot that the KV-4 is so slow and it has such a bad traverse speed that it was actually an epic fail. And also, right here we're going to see this KV-5 is trying to shoot those machine gun ports here instead of going for the obvious weak points on the top. So there was some bad gameplay from the KV-4, but the artillery was aiming at Zarek and he moved backwards and forwards to avoid being penetrated by the KV-4 and being hit by the artillery, which resulted in him getting his 10th kill. And in the chat you can see some nice fair play from the enemy team. And the KV-1S says the KV-2 and the IS-3 are AFK, which is pretty good news, because meeting with a full health IS-3 is pretty much fatal, to be honest, when you're a one-shot kill. So if the IS-3 and the KV-2 are AFK, it's a 1v1 against an artillery, which can also be tricky. But if any one of those two guys is not AFK, it's really dangerous, because think about it, even though, let's say, if he meets the KV-2 can even one-shot kill him, and that is really dangerous. So if he faces the KV-2, he might die, or if the KV-2 doesn't kill him in one shell, the artillery is most likely going to be killing him. And that's, in fact, that's the real problem. If he meets one of those guys, the artillery can shoot on him. So this is pretty dangerous right now. If that KV-1S wasn't lying, and you could see that those guys showed some fair play in the chat, this means that Zarek can secure the kill without. In fact, let's say it's not that easy to kill a Lorraine 155-50, but still it would be a lot easier than if any of those guys were AFK. So let's see, is the KV-1S lying, or are those two guys actually AFK? Tensioning moment. Is anyone around this corner? Da-na-na. Oh shit! Full health IS-3. The bright side, however, is that the artillery can shoot at him, but if the IS-3 is not AFK, this probably means that the KV-2 is not AFK either. So right now, the only luck that Zarek has is that the IS-3 has the stock turret and has the gun that you use in the IS, which is not very accurate compared to the BL9. It also has only 175mm of penetration, so as the only place where the IS-3 can hit is the gun or the commander's cupola. But as you can see, this entire game nobody shot his gun, which is pretty interesting. And right there, very nice brawling. KP1 says, oh my god, cheater, what the hell. Very nice brawling right there. He killed alone a full health, same tier heavy tank without losing a single point of health. And he has to be really careful about the artillery and the KV-2 right now, because artillery gets spotted, he very luckily tracks him. Artillery wants to back off and he finishes him off. So right now, you could say that the IS-3 and the KV-2 were AFK, and at the time that guy said they were AFK, but in the meantime, the IS started moving, and this is probably why it explains why he was on full health, because if he wasn't AFK in a stock IS-3, he shouldn't have been 100% health. So this is the second moment of truth in this gameplay. Is the KV-2 AFK? Nothing spotted yet. Is the KV-2 crawling from his back? And there he is. AFK KV-2. First shot bounces, but it doesn't really matter as the guy is AFK. He's aiming for the ammo rack, I believe. The ammo rack on this KV-2, if I'm not mistaken, is here, and the engine is somewhere around here, so he's probably going to hit the engine. One more shot, come on, if it more shots, and he set him on fire, and he finished him off. So very good game right now by Zarek. 1-1-2. Amazing gameplay, flawless. He met a full health, same tier heavy tank, finish him off without losing a single point of health. Knew how to prioritize his targets, how to wiggle his tank, how to avoid being penetrated, and this resulted in a massive carry in the AT-15, and he is only left on 9 shells. So let's see some post-game stats. 125,000 credits, 3,387 experience, 2,258 base experience, which is huge. Mastery badge, ace tanker, of course. If this wasn't an ace tanker, I don't really know what would have been an ace tanker on this tank. Pulse medal, 1 kill away from Rising Ice medal. But let's be honest, every tank that he faced, he killed. So you couldn't say that there was one tank that he didn't manage to kill, and this is why he didn't get a Rising Ice medal. Still epic game. High caliber, of course, Top Gun, and Steel Wall. Team score, he scored 7,117 damage, which is, in a tier 10 game, you are happy when you get 6,000 damage, not to say 7,000, but in a tier 8 tank, it's amazing. Sorting by damage, next two guys did slightly over 1,500 and the others were almost 0. I'm pretty sure he did more damage than the rest of his team combined. And he fired 49 shots out and 47 hit. Again, I don't understand why he didn't also get a sniper, because he hit more than 85% of his shots and he did more than 1,000 damage. He received 14 hits, damage blocked by armor 3,060. Add to that the 1,000 health he lost, so there goes about 4,000 and something potential damage received. And as I said before, a pretty big amount of credits and a huge amount of experience. So that was Zarek for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found this informative, and I also hope that it made you think about buying the AT-15, or if you already have it, it helped you a little bit on how to play this tank, and have an absolutely awesome day.